Majority Whip John Thune. Senator, how you doing? And good morning to you. Did we get a good deal with Mexico? How do you assess that?
I think it's a win-win. I think it's a good deal for Mexico. It's a good deal for the United States, and the fact that they have decided finally to intensify their efforts to start helping us control our southern border suggests to me, at least, that they're getting the message. So it's good. In the long run, it's good for them too. They don't want tens of thousands of people coming through their country and being trafficked. And so I think this is overall, like I said, I think it's a win-win.
What do you consider effective or a success? How do we gauge this then?
I think you'll have to look at, over time, the data and just look at the daily sort of influx across the border and determine whether or not that's being reduced. I think it will be. I think if they follow through on what they said they would do with respect to their southern border and enforcing and policing that better, and then also helping us with those who are in their country that are headed into the United States seeking asylum, if they follow through on the commitments that they've made, I think we'll see a significant reduction in the number of people that are coming across our southern border and seeking asylum. And ultimately it'll be in the numbers.
Yeah, do you think the tariffs scared them?
I think it was a tool that the president ended up using effectively. Obviously, there were many concerns about imposing tariffs in the wake of a USMCA agreement that we're all trying to get across the finish line. But it got their attention, and it got them to the table. And like I said, I think from a timing standpoint, it certainly speeded up what if they were planning to do this anyway, which some have argued, the agreement, the deal that they struck, got them to the table in a way that I think helps us get a more immediate result.
It's been reported, as you know, there's several thousand more troops going to the southern border there in Mexico, part of this new National Guard in that country. Here's Mike Pence talking with Brett on that very topic about tariffs and leverage in the economy.
Whether it be with China, whether it be with other countries around the world, this president has been willing to use the economic power of the strongest economy in the history of the world in using access to our market in the form of tariffs to put American jobs and American workers first. And I couldn't be more proud to stand with him as he does that.
I think you would agree it's a powerful tool as long as the economy stays strong. Right now it is, and it's effective, Senator.
Well, we've got a strong economy, and that's the reason I think the president does have the leverage to force China to the table and hopefully to get some concessions there, some sort of a deal going forward. But we have a strong economy because of the policies that Senate Republicans and House Republicans and the administration, the president, have put into place, whether it's tax policy, regulatory policy, energy. You can go right down the list, and these are all things that have led to where we actually have now 7.4 million jobs available in this country, or 1.3 jobs for every unemployed person.
Amazing.
That's the first time we've seen that, and it's 14 months in a row.
Yeah. You want a job, you can work, right? You want to work, there's a job out there for you. Quickly on Ken Cuccinelli from Virginia. He has been appointed just this past week to head up an immigration service. What's your problem with Mr. Cuccinelli?
Well, I think individually there may be senators who would be fine with him in that position. I think collectively it would be hard to get him confirmed here in the Senate, and that's I think the message that the administration has been receiving from Senate Republicans. We would have to pass him with all Republican votes. And he has in the past made a practice of attacking Republicans, and I think that makes it a heavier lift up here. So I think in terms of getting a confirmed position.
He's the acting director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services.
He is acting, yes.
You could stay acting for quite some time.
You can. Well, the president has a number of folks in acting positions. I think ultimately it's better in the long term to solidify that position and that person's authority in that position to get them confirmed by the Senate. But he certainly is in an acting position now, and that's the president's prerogative.
Let's talk about big tech. You've got them in your crosshairs,
yes,
to a degree. Statement from Google about an hour ago. Google News and Google Search drive over 10 billion clicks to publishers' websites, which drive subscriptions and significant ad revenue. Google News itself has no advertising and makes no money. It's designed to deliver traffic to news sites. Part of the rub here is that all big tech has been crowding out local news and advertisers. What's your view on how you go forward from a congressional standpoint with these big companies?
I just think it shouldn't come as any surprise to any of those big companies, whether it's Google or Facebook or Amazon or Apple, that they are being looked at and reviewed by the regulatories. Their size, their influence, their dominance in the marketplace today is such that I think it's going to invite that kind of review. But it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be any governmental action that comes out of that. I don't think we want to prejudge any of these cases, but I think if they're focused on the consumer, if they're focused on creating, if they're committed to competition, they'll probably be fine. But there is a broad concern among the American public today about the collection of their information, the use of their information, how it might be being misused, and we've had some hearings, I think, as you know, already about that. And now the FTC and the Department of Justice are also getting involved and just taking a look at these companies and their dominance in the marketplace and making sure that they're not misusing that. And so I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, are you on the road towards some sort of breakup here, do you think, down the road?
Well, there's a concern that they have monopolistic power. I'm not suggesting at this point that that would be the end game or the end result of all this. Like I said, if they can demonstrate that they're focused on the consumer and they're committed to competition, it may be that in the end of all this that nothing happens in terms of governmental action. But I think there is a concern that these companies have gotten very, very big, exercise a tremendous amount of market power, and have a tremendous amount of influence and control over people's personal information. And that is an issue that I think the American people want to see addressed.
Yeah,
so how that ends up remains to be seen.
We've never been here before, that's for certain. Senator, hope you come back soon, okay? John
Thanks,
Thune,
Bill.
the Republican from South Dakota. Thank you, Sandra.
You bet.